This video I will explain about job interview in general. Um, Dealing with interview anxiety, I believe that everyone will have this kind of feeling, but it's normal. And what you have to do, just prepare yourself, and it will minimize your anxiety. Interviewing for a job is often filled with anxiety and fear, but it doesn't have to be that way. There are things we can do to prepare ourselves and become more self-confident and relaxed. Being prepared is the best way to reduce anxiety and help answer a successful job interview. And set your mind that when you are having interview time, and speak to yourself that you are going to share what you have, your experience, your strength, and you are going to show up uh, your competence, your skills, your knowledge that meet with the position that you apply for. That's way how to overcome job interview anxiety. So at least before entering the room of the interview, uh, you've done several things like take a deep breath, pray for uh, praying first, and well, just keep calm and relax. The purposes of the interview, well, actually, it's your opportunity to shine your abilities, talents, interests, personality, work experience, education, and motivations. So that's a very valuable time for you to show everything you have, and convince the interviewer that you are matched with the position, and will give uh, benefits for the company, organization, or even, for example, hospital that you apply. And here inform you about the employer, so you will see the the employer needs. What does the employer actually look for filling the position? And then the history, the work environment, business activities, and future plans. There are several types of interviews. Here are the common ones. The first one is the directed interview. It is about impersonal, seeks to reveal facts. And then usually interviewer takes notes using an outline and checklist, compares you to others. And then another type of interview is the undirected or mentoring interview. This interview is unstructured, an open discussion of your qualifications. So uh, one of common questions will be, tell me about yourself. So the interview will see how far the detailed information of you, and the common questions usually related to the information that you give. And then there will be also the behavioral interview. Well, interested in past behaviors, like describe a time that required problem-solving skills, adaptability, leadership, conflict resolution. So you will tell about your experience, working experience, and you can share your skills, your competence dealing with the problem solving when you have kind of problems in your work in the past. And another example, like asking you, how did you deal with this? So the interviewer wants to see uh, whether you can overcome the problems, the issues that you face in dealing with the work. And in this type, we'll see your brief history. So be prepared to have stories to demonstrate. Before having the interview, you try to uh, uh, make kind of stories related to your working experience. And then the audition. It is a simulation or brief exercise to evaluate your skills and inquiry specifically about the instructions. Take ownership of your work. And then there's also the group interview. Here, several applications at one time. So they invite some application, they make group of applicants and invite them at the same time and provide a sense of your leadership potential and style in the group, and how do you interact with the peers and keep an eye on the interviewer. So uh, perhaps once the another side or your potential or competence in dealing with the people, working with the people. So that's group interview. Or another word you can maybe you will be more familiar with forum group discussion. And then the panel or board interview. It is several interview. So in this type, several interviewers are present. So there's some people will interview in the room, and then the positions are usually with a government agencies or large organizations, and you must maintain eye contact when answering questions to the questionnaire. Each group member back to the questionnaire and preparing for the interview by look at the details. Okay, gather work samples, copies of resume, references, and place in a nice case of folders, so it will be easier for you to take and to show to read later on. Remember to bring a pen. Here's your answers. Make practices to make yourself be more confident and ready. Write down your questions about the job or organization. Review your work history. Practice your answers to common interview questions. Be prepared for surprises. And then please pay attention for these following things. So do not show uh, gum, do not distract the interviewer, do not bring family or friends to the interview, do not use slang. Okay, so you better to use formal language. Do not ramble. Do formulate your answers before beginning to speak, and it will be okay when you pose. I mean, it'll be okay. You make yourself ready to answer the questions from the interview and avoid like so watch these things in having the interview session. And how to begin the interview. Firmly shake hands with those you meet. Greet all involved in the interview process and try to remember names. Be friendly to everyone. Follow the interview's lead direction, selecting a seat. And how to posture yourself during the interview. Sit on the front third of the seat and then position man legs uncrossed but closed. Okay. And then for women, legs or feet crossed. If wearing a skirt, maybe uncrossed but closed. And then hands folded in front and sit up straight with head, neck and aligned with hips. Be careful of bad habits. Tapping your fingers, biting your nails. These are just for example. Playing with your hair, clicking your pen, etc. And remember, nervous is very normal. Take a deep breath and try to relax. Don't let nervousness interfere with your answers or conversation. Remind yourself that this is just part of the process to see if you are a good fit for the position. And during the interview, you must be on time, be friendly, show your enthusiasm, be positive and honest. That's your time. That's your goal time to get a job. So you do everything to get that job. Okay, don't uh, lose the time. And maintain eye contact when you are having conversation with the interviewer, and then express yourself. Okay, don't too flat or um, unexpressive, and don't criticize previous employers. Be aware of body language, be a good listener, focus on the questions, and then emphasize your strengths. Be yourself, avoid personal issues, be confident, discuss ways you can contribute. The purpose of the wall questions. This tests your ability to operate under pressure, and then it demonstrates your problem-solving skill. Opportunity for you to think quickly, questions, and communicate, and usually no right or wrong answers. And when you get a turn to ask the interview, an interview will also usually prepare the questions before. You should always have a few questions prepared to ask at this time.